Sure. Thanks so much for joining me on this interview today.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Is this your first time being involved with Help Capital?
I came last year, great event, loved it. So I was looking forward to being here again this year. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so your organization currently raising right now, or is this more just like as entrepreneurs always, it is more propaganda. You got to get out there.
Yeah. We're always networking. We are raising. We're towards the tail end of our raise. So it's a good opportunity. But I've been networking with Hill for a couple years for the future opportunity of more of where they play in this space of revenue based and helping people get over those smaller bridges. So it's a good opportunity for future opportunities with them. Yeah. We're just in a pre-seed round. So we just launched a market. We've been raising here for a little bit. We're getting, like I said, close to closing the round out. So that's exciting. So we can just work 100% on the business and not have to be fundraising.
It's a little bit like a campaign trail sometimes. Like I'm supposed to be like literally a company right now. I'm just like,
Right.
give me money.
And it's not what you plan on doing when you start as an entrepreneur. Like we plan to build a business, not raise money.
Never really signed you up for that's but you have to do it. If you're trying to scale, if you're not scalable, VC back, right. My company I currently own is bootstrapped. I pay for it.
Yeah.
But the one before that, they allowed me to bootstrap this one. I was tapped. I was a canary.
We knew we were going to have to raise. We never quite understood what that meant. We bootstrapped heavily for the first 2.5 years, and then fundraising has been picking up. So it's good.
Well, Troy, let's get into some exciting ways to learn a little bit more about you. So, you're going to enjoy it. I'm sure you do. But if this was a movie, right? Your Sharp was a movie. What movie would it be? And what actor would play you?
No, it's a ridiculous question. And the first thing that popped into my mind, but first, it's the first thing that popped into my mind for some reason is like Happy Gilmore, because the whole process of what we're doing is we're here to have fun. We want to make sure we have a good time, but yet there is a goal at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, he wants to be able to help his family get things done. And that's what we're here about, is to help people get things done, but have fun on the journey. We've been through the slog of corporate America, and now it's time to sit back, have fun, and not take life as seriously, but still build a business. Yeah. Actor to play me? I've been told a couple times once in a while I look like Brett Favre, but he's not an actor. So that's a terrible answer. So I don't know. My wife loves Channing Tatum. So let's go with that, right? May as well be an actor that my wife loves.
Okay, and I think the city has soccer, right? In a good way. To shout out to the wife, what makes the wife happy, right?
Yeah.
I love that. But but talking about business, you alluded to a little bit that came before America life. So so give me your 3-minute pitch. Like, what is the business?
Yeah. So the business is we're a mobility company. So we're redefining mobility for wheelchair users. We're trying to bridge that gap between a manual wheelchair and a large dedicated wheelchair to help people at work, school, and play to really live their best life. My co-founder is a quadriplegic that's been pushing for 30 years. He's been into industry. He's a highly respected innovator. And we worked together maybe 18 years ago. And I was in wheelchair wheel sector and selling into him as friends and colleagues. And we worked together and I consulted for him. And after I left that company, I always wanted to come back because the 4 or 5 years I spent helping people in a mobility situation to improve their lives was so fulfilling. So when he called me back up after 18 years of friendship and said, "Hey, do you want to start a business with me?" I said, "Yeah, man, we've always wanted to do it. Let's give it a try and let's go after it." So here we are, year 3.5 in and we're doing it.
I love the full cycle of things because oftentimes people think entrepreneurs is a kid's game.
Not a kid's game.
Except I say you do it better with a little bit of time on your belt.
Right.
So I was on the Marine Corps. I came back for a short period of time at Amazon afterwards. But by the time 23 came around, I was put unemployable. Right. Definitely didn't hire me. So I don't want to work for myself. So I had it was a pain to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Especially when having mentors. So I imagine being able to like, all right, I kind of know the industry I'm working in, I'm an expert. Like, I feel like I'm well equipped to go and try to sell some good recipe.
Yeah. And even with that, I probably wrote a business plan for 1.5 years before pulling the trigger. And finally, my wife is like, "You're miserable in your current job. Go do what makes you happy. The only time you smile is when you're working on this on the weekends. So just go do it. Don't die saying what if." So we jumped in and yeah, here we are.
That's wonderful. And so I'm sure you live and breathe that business everything now. But not also on the weekends, right? For a year and a half. So let's paint a picture of the universe, right? We're in the Avengers here. We're gonna hit my Infinity Stone. We're gonna go to every universe. Troy exists there. What's Troy doing?
If I wasn't in this and being in corporate America and money wasn't an object and I could do what I wanted to do, I think I'd love to work just within a nonprofit and help people be able to build that strategy. How can they succeed as a nonprofit and build their company around them to help people and, just give back to the community? You know, I have a big passion for that, a big passion for my family and the ability to make an impact on somebody else's lives, while improving my own is a huge part of what we do.
And I'm not sure that you're incredibly ignorant with this. Are there incubators for nonprofit? Are there like, because we all finance it's college all there's incubators to get you going. Yeah. I mean, I operate a small portfolio that we incubate, but we get paid and eventually profit sharing. I don't know if there is an incubator for nonprofits. I feel like that should be something that we should encourage.
Right. And I think in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, I've been a part of 4 or 5 different accelerators, business accelerators in different areas of the country and Canada and stuff like that. And in the disability sector, I am seeing more nonprofit business help. And it has a lot of the same foundations as a for-profit business. You have to build your team. You have to have a vision. You have to have your why. You have to have, what are your goals and tactics? So those incubators and accelerators are preparing those companies as well. Most of them are for-profit, but there's a little bit out there in that sector.
Yeah. I just feel like that's a thing. If you're out there listening, we should have an incubator and accelerator for nonprofits. Right. We're going to figure out how to support people in their journey to support people, right? And not for the purpose of becoming the right. Well, wonderful. Right. So you enjoy what you do. It's passion. We'll talk about the alternate universe, but I'm sure you have hobby. I'm assuming because I had hobby for many years. My hobby was my business. Right. You have a hobby that's not this entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, it's interesting because, a lot of people define a hobby as the one thing they're passionate about, whether it's, maybe cars or collecting. And I don't really have that one thing that I have to break away for, but our family is a huge outdoors family. Anytime we can in the summer, which is hard in Wisconsin, it's 2.5 months long, right? We're in the water on a boat, water skiing, wakeboarding, or maybe camping, right? So we're big into the outdoors. Our hobby is getting out into nature, disconnecting from our electronics and just being in the moment. So our kids and our family have gone to the upper Minnesota boundary waters and done 10-day hiking and canoeing trips where there's no running water, there's no bathrooms. You're just you, nature, and your family. And I would say that's really our hobby. And when we can break away and disconnect, that's what we enjoy doing.
That I mean, I love big surf for me, and my family, and go to the beach every weekend.
Yeah.
We have a beach set. We'll back up to the beach, pop out at 10.
Yeah.
And we'll do that all day. Because you're inside all day, Monday through Friday, to right, Friday. So that's wonderful. And I wish I could get my wife to both of them like that. Hey, that's a different, like, we want to know, I see. She said, you lost me. We're in a not have a bathroom. You're home by yourself. Right. And so it's going to be freezing. She's like, well, try to come back. Right. We're not one. Same way. Well, that's wonderful. Troy, to wrap all this up, I really want to know if he's someone who's going through the experience right now. And, others are always watching you, right? People who work for you, people who you're tap dancing for money.
Yeah.
And then you have the third degree of just people who are experiencing your company and your presence by way of your life, right? What is your advice to that person who maybe wants to experience that same journey or something that you would like them to know or has like them process to get where you are as a founder and person who's raising money for an organization?
Yeah, there's probably 3 things. One is at some point you have to just do it and have that leap of faith and understand that you have the skills and the ability to do it. And if you don't try, you can't fail, right? So the first one is do it, try. The second one is you have to surround yourself with a support network, mentors, whether it's in corporate America, entrepreneurial, ecosystem that we're growing in. If you don't have some mentors to lean on and help you, you're going to struggle. We're not experts at everything. We have to lean on others on how to get that success. And then the last part is, grit. Like it's going to be hard. and you just know it's going to be hard and there's going to be ups and downs. And when you get in those downs, you have to look backwards at the successes you had and say, I am doing it. We can get there and we will get there, and, know not to quit. So it's a roller coaster, but man, you have to have a little grit or you're not going to succeed.
I was just watching the movie Platoon on the airplane right here. Right. It's a whole one good one. Great movie, by the way. I'm not going to put all of them. Right. But if I look at it, Charlie Sheen's explanation and monologue around the word grunt, right? The basic military guy. And it hit me, right? It's like, these are just the bottom of the barrel kind of people, right? There's guys doing God's work for the country.
Right.
And it hit me where the word grunt came from. Like the idea of grit, and like I'm lifting something, you're literally grunting.
Yeah.
All right. And I was like, that makes sense. It's when you say grit, and you can't say entrepreneur if you without grit, right? You just have to take plunge.
And you're lifting everything. In those first 2 years, you're lifting the garbage can, you're lifting the accounting system, right. Right. Who's in charge of sales? Me. Who's in charge of finance? Me.
Well, Troy, thank you so much. I'm excited to have you on in the future for a full episode. But good luck to you there with your pitch, and I'm something new to you after your power roll.
Yeah, appreciate the time. That was a great event. So thank you.
Thank you for watching The Faces. Entrepreneurs are people too. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Spotify so you do not miss any of our content just like today. We really appreciate you being one of our viewers, and see you soon.